Hey everybody, Jason and John here for Everyday Crypto, sponsored by CryptoTaxShield.com. Jason, thanks, my guru, my whale, for sitting down. Yet another good episode today. I think it's going to be a good one.
John, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. So, like everybody, started looking around today, past couple days, the markets are pumping crazy, and I just thought, you know what? Let's sit down with Jason and see what's going on in the world.
Yeah, right. If I could start off, please, if you find any entertainment or educational value in this all, please like and subscribe. It helps us help you, and we appreciate it. We truly do.
Absolutely.
And we are not financial advisors. Please do your own research.
Always.
So, yeah, you put out a video about maybe a week and a half ago, something like that, saying Bitcoin really seems like it's about to pump. It's about to do something crazy. And we were right. The very next day it started pumping. I think when we said that, it was at 38.5, maybe 39,000.
Right.
Now it's at 47,500. So, and just to give everyone an idea, not only is that a great amount of action within a week, but within investors and technical analysis, passing the $45,000 mark is a very big deal because in the last year, that's been a level of resistance. We keep bouncing off of it. So it was 45 and 30, up and down, up and down. And that whole year, the coil just kept tightening up. People were accumulating. That's how it went. And then, bam, now it's past 45.
Right.
Good chance that becomes a level of support. So our previous level of support was like 35, 30,000. That's where investors feel comfortable, and there's lots of buy orders at that level, so it keeps it from dipping super hard, right?
Yeah.
If 45 becomes a level of support, you're probably looking at a bounce to 60. So there's no levels of resistance until about 60, 65,000. And if we bounce past that, there are no levels of resistance.
Right.
Like you can see Bitcoin do something super crazy, like go to 180,000, 300,000. Like it has that type of potential.
So, okay. So that the first question that sort of pops in my brain is, with the traditional markets being sort of dry as they are, what's causing all of this? What's causing this bounce?
Great question, John, for sure. So here are my thoughts on that. One, I think the world's waking up.
Yeah.
I think the war exposed a lot of the problems with centralized entities and the fact that Bitcoin became such a player in this whole war. I mean, I don't think anyone saw that coming, right?
Right.
But I think there's an awakening going on. I know corporations now are jumping in pretty heavy. I think that's part of it. Mainstream adoption seems to be picking up, more commercials, more knowledge. Like, I'll give you an example on that, right? So 2 years ago, all I ever wanted to talk about was crypto. So when I met somebody on the streets or I met a friend, all I wanted to do was talk crypto. But I could always tell no one was interested.
Right.
No one cared. Everyone thought I was a little crazy, right? I mean, some people even actually called me out. Like, Jason, are you okay? Like this.
Right.
I think a guy wanted to ask me, man, are you going broke on this? I'm like, no. So then a year ago, it was the same story, but I could grab a few people's attention, right?
Yeah.
Now there's nobody I meet. If I say the word crypto, their ears don't immediately pop, and I need to learn more about this. Tell me more, and they're interested, right?
Absolutely.
I think there's that awakening going on, and so we've also talked on the show about how Terra Luna is buying up $10 billion worth of Bitcoin to stabilize their stable coin, the US Terra.
Sure.
I think that has a lot to do with it too, because they're buying, I think, something like $25 million a day.
Okay.
And I think that has a snowball effect, right? So for one, it shows the smartest guys in the room are choosing Bitcoin, not US dollars, not assets, not stocks. They're choosing Bitcoin as their stabilizer, right?
Right.
And I think that will force their competitors to do the same, for one. But I also think it shows other projects who maybe aren't as smart as the guys in Terra, right?
Right.
And they say, okay, well, they're doing that. We should look into it, right? Just like MicroStrategy when they and Tesla, when they put Bitcoin on their balance sheets, that let the rest of the world know, oh, the smartest guys in the room are doing that. Maybe we should be doing that too.
Gotcha.
So I think it's a combination of a lot of that. And I've noticed also that retail investors have started showing up. I could tell because I see coins like Doge and Cardano. They're pumping pretty hard. So, and those are coins that usually retail guys buy. So I think it's just kind of the perfect storm happening, right? And I think what people need to understand is, for one, Bitcoin's been an accumulation for the last year. So that spring is sprung up really tight. And how that happens is, how that spring gets tight is in times of accumulation, guys like me are accumulating Bitcoin and we never sell.
Right.
You can actually follow this in cryptocurrency on-chain analysis. Since everything's public in crypto, you can actually know how much of it's accumulating into wallets that don't sell.
I see.
That's why the spring coils up and it takes off when retail shows up, governments show up, and investors jump back in. So now there's less supply,
right,
and more demand, right? So I think it's a combination of all those things. And I'll give you one example on how governments are once again just coming into play. So I think it was Zimbabwe today came out and said that they're thinking about making Bitcoin illegal because we're afraid of its volatility and we don't protect our citizens, which is an absolute joke.
Sure.
Their citizens are going to Bitcoin because their currencies and their economies are insanely unstable. They suffered 250% inflation last year and 350% the year before that.
Mm-hmm.
So this just goes to show two things. One, the citizens are looking for Bitcoin to better their lives, to get off the instability of their government and their currencies. But it also shows the threat to governments.
Right.
Like all governments, the biggest control they have over you is the monetary system.
Mm-hmm.
It's centralized, and they own it, and they fluctuate, and they do what they want with it, right?
Sure.
And people in America don't see it that way because our currency is the stablest around. But in second, third world countries, South America, Africa, this is a very big problem. Most citizens will spend their paycheck the day they get it because they don't know what the currency is going to be worth tomorrow.
Right.
And even Americans, they don't know it or feel it yet, but it's happening. Like,
yes,
our currency, it's been stated our currency last year after COVID hit lost something like 30% of its value.
Right.
And you feel that in inflation when you go to buy a bag of carrots and it's 30%, 50% more than it used to be, or you get a project done in your house and the quotes you got 2 years ago are double, right?
Right.
This is inflation. It's the devaluing of your currency, and Bitcoin is the answer to all that. It's decentralized. It can't be manipulated. It can't be controlled. It's not owned by anybody. It's owned by everybody, and the power of decentralization.
Yeah, and I do find it ironic and a little funny, if it weren't so sad, that these countries that sort of want to ban crypto with the excuse that it's so volatile generally have the most volatile monetary systems anyway, and they want to protect the status quo, which I find interesting. It's because all they're doing is you're right, it's control. It's just about people control, and when you control their money, you control their lives. So yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, and the Bitcoin, going back to the Bitcoin thing, we've done shows in the past where we talk about retail psychology and sort of emotional maturity when it comes to buying and holding these things. But I think what's going to be great when they start pumping even more with Bitcoin in particular is those people smart enough to hold it, who bought it years ago, are going to be super happy when it hits 60, 65, 100, 152, so really the sky's the limit on that stuff. And just to be smart and hold on to that, you're going to be very, very happy.
Absolutely. If I could say one thing to the general public.
Sure.
You have no idea how much this thing's going to go up.
Right.
And if you don't jump in now, you're going to find yourself in a situation of mass supply shock. Mm-hmm. There really isn't a lot of Bitcoin out there for sale. Right. And the price action of it right now isn't reflective of that at all. Most people are unaware of this. This is not common knowledge out there. Mm-hmm. But I'm telling you, the exchanges do not have that much for sale. And when whales, governments, corporations, when these people come buying, they come buying a lot. Right? They throw billions.
Right.
So if you want to set up your long-term future, and if you have any interest in this, I wouldn't sleep on it.
For sure. No, that's great advice. And like I've said many times on this particular show, smart people are taking notes, and they're going to do their research like we always advise. But yeah, get involved. I mean, even if it's something something beyond Bitcoin. Just get involved in crypto and get your feet wet, and really set yourself up. And there, you're a great success story with this stuff, but there can be so many more. I mean, it's the only thing stopping people is action. You just have to take some action. So
think of crypto as financial freedom.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. That's a great way to look at it. Jason, thanks so much, man. Yeah, I saw things were happening. So appreciate you taking a few minutes and sitting down with us and explaining the landscape to us.
John, thanks for having me. I totally appreciate it.
We'll do it again.
You bet.
All right. Take care.
You too.